The one thing that was missing with getting this car on the ground was a set of rear axles. These are GKN, these are the new OE supplier for BMW E30 axles, and they're in hand. So we're gonna get them on the car, get some wheel studs sorted, and then I'll talk a little bit about these wheels and this tire setup and kind of what's happening with the car and the steps to get the assembly going moving forward. The axles are in the car, they're just hand tight right now. To torque them to spec, we actually need the wheels on the car and the weight of the car on the wheels. And to do that, we need some hardware to get the wheels on. So this is the Motorsport Hardware E30 stud conversion supplied by FCP Euro. Just like all the OEM replacement upgrades that they also have a ton of OEM Plus upgrades, like the full line of products from Motorsport Hardware. These are the 78mm wheel studs in black, conical nuts also in black. These can accompany up to a 20mm spacer, I believe. We're not going to use one that big, but it is nice to have that option. And I do kind of like the look when they stick out just a little bit further than they need to be. A little bit motorsport inspired in my opinion. So we're going to torque these down to 30 foot-pounds. They supply blue thread locker, so we're going to do a dab of that on the threads, get them all torqued down, let those cure while we finish up and get the wheels prepped to go in the car, and we'll get this thing together. These are the wheels that I'm putting on my E30. They are Compomotive THs, a very, very early production year in a very, very rare and special factory chrome finish, which I haven't actually seen before other than this set here. They are 16 by 8.5 ET25, which makes them pretty much perfect E30 fitment. The tires they're wrapped in are Falcon, Zenith RT660 Pluses, which is a compound tire and very necessary, of course, to handle all 95 horsepower that we are going to be putting into the E30 engine bay. Prior to the tires getting mounted, I fully iron deconned and detailed the wheels. Of course, when they slide the tires on, they use that lubrication and they're a bit sloppy, so we're going to clean them up real quick before we ceramic coat them and dress the tires. At that point, they'll be ready to go back on the car, or on the car for the first time in 10 months. This car has not touched the ground in 10 months, which is crazy, but the time and money that went into the suspension and the undercarriage on this car was quite a bit more than I thought it was going to be. So the time was necessary. However, I'm ready to get this thing on the ground, which it needs to be for the next steps to go about, because we got a little bit of something to put in here and it's going to be a lot easier with some wheels and tires. product you just saw me put in the foamer was a new APC by Armor Detail Supply named Clean Adequately. Dilution ratio was pretty much just based on vibes, but the cool thing about this is that you can dilute it at pretty much any ratio to cover any type of cleaning, both inside and outside of a vehicle. So in the same way that Optimum No Rinse is a pretty all-encapsulating product, literally, this is kind of that for APC. You can do pretty much everything with it. Comes in this size and bigger sizes as well if you need a lot more of it. I've been loving it, and I think you guys will too. It'll be linked in the description below, as well as I also switched up the detailing brushes. Still Detail Factory, of course, but I switched to the Avalanche colorway and basically got the entire line. So I'm going to be testing some of the ones I haven't and enjoying the ones I already do have. And there's now a coupon code if you guys want to save some money on the Detail Factory site. You can use code Chromatic. The wheels are now coated, the tires are sealed. On the wheels, I use G-Technic C5 wheel armor. There's about 3 wheel coatings that I all think I like fairly equally, and I use whatever is on hand. Today, it happened to be C5. Pro tip, enthusiast tip, on the barrels of wheels like this, where you're gonna have a very hard time accessing the barrel of the wheel via the spoke, apply your coating, leave it on. Don't level it, don't remove it, just let it cure like that in its thickest form, and this should hypothetically give you the biggest advantage against that brake dust getting embedded and ruining the barrel of your wheel. And then when you take the wheels off the car, you can clean them as normal. Even if the barrel isn't like this, all hidden by the face, it's still pretty good practice and allows you better and easier cleaning. For the face of the wheel, completely normal, apply it, level it out, good to go. On the tires, I used Armor Detail Supply Ghost, which is a sealant. I think for about a year now, it's probably been my favorite way to finish off a tire. Best looking, longest lasting, and it has the easiest, or my favorite application process. I do it one coat, so it's a very matte, somewhat satin look. If you do a second coat, you can get it glossy and kind of play with it and figure out how you want your tires to look with that dressing or tire sealant. I love it. Now, I'm gonna mess with some wheel spacers on the car, get these on, torque that rear down. Probably mess with the suspension a little bit or a lot to figure it out. There's currently no engine in this car, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get the front to actually represent where it's going to or where I want it to sit, but we will try. The wheel spacers we're gonna be using are also from Motorsport Hardware, 10mm front, 15mm rear. These are the Tracklight edition, so they are very light and perfect for this car. I got them directly from FCP Euro as well, which will be linked below in the description. The front was primarily to clear the caliper and the perch on the coilover. The rear was more so for the caliper and just to create a better fitment. Did a lot of research, asked a lot of people. This should be the exact sizing I need, but if we do need to change these out for smaller or bigger ones, we will do so.
What you saw me just do to finish this off was torque the axle bolts to the diff, 64 foot-pounds, put the car on the ground, torque the axles to the hubs at 184 foot-pounds,
put in the locking plate and then the cap for the wheel, which means in terms of the wheel setup, suspension, subframes, it's all completed. This car can now roll freely. It turns. A lot of next steps coming up, but this one is pretty important. It's really cool to see the car finally on the ground. Like I said, this isn't the final ride height. We have about 300 pounds to put in the engine bay, plus a transmission, plus a gas tank. So this will settle and then we'll do fine adjustments. But in terms of actual fitment and where the tires are going to line up with the fenders and rear quarter panels, it's perfect for me. You might have different opinions, different preferences, but for me, this is exactly what I wanted. Now, roll it outside, show you guys what it looks like, and then next up, finally some engine stuff, getting it in the bay, but it's going to be a lot easier now that we can roll this thing around.